Somewhere in America right now, there is a driver who has no idea. They filled up the tank this morning, merged onto the highway, felt that small hesitation at 65 miles per hour, and told themselves it was nothing, maybe a bad tank of gas, maybe the altitude. It was not nothing. According to documents filed with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that hesitation is one of the most documented early warning signs of a catastrophic internal failure pattern that has now been confirmed in over 1.4 million vehicles across the United States. The manufacturers know, the dealers know, and until right now, most owners did not. This is not a projection. This is not a worst-case estimate. The 1.4 million figure comes directly from aggregated NHTSA complaint data, active recall filings, and class action records compiled through the first half of 2025. The crisis that auto journalists were calling emerging 18 months ago is no longer emerging. It has arrived, and what makes it worse is not just the scale. It is who is being hit, which engines are at the center of it, what the automakers chose to do when they found out, and what that means for the truck or SUV sitting in your driveway right now. If you own a 2021, 2022, 2023, or 2024 model year vehicle with one of the 6 engine configurations we are going to cover today, stay with this, because the repair bills attached to these failures are not $500 fixes. Owners across America are reporting out-of-pocket costs ranging from $11,000 to over $30,000 for engine replacements on vehicles still under nominal warranty. We are going to tell you exactly why that warranty is not protecting them and whether it will protect you. The first engine in this crisis that demands your attention is not the one getting the most headlines. It is the one quietly failing at a rate that, according to carcomplaints.com severity rankings and corroborating NHTSA complaint volumes, now places it in the top 3 most reported catastrophic failure patterns of any engine sold in the American market in the last 4 years. It is the turbocharged 4-cylinder configuration that General Motors deployed across its mid-size crossover lineup beginning in model year 2021. Owners driving Chevrolet Equinox and GMC Terrain units built between January 2021 and August 2023 have filed over 4,200 individual complaints with NHTSA as of the date this investigation was completed. The pattern is consistent and specific. Low-speed oil consumption begins between 18,000 and 34,000 miles. Owners report burning through a quart of oil every 800 to 1,200 miles. GM's official position, communicated through dealer service networks, has been that consumption within certain parameters is normal operating behavior. One owner complaint submitted to NHTSA in March 2025, complaint ID number 115834442, states directly, "Dealer told me consuming 1 quart every 1,000 miles is within spec. Engine seized at 41,000 miles. I owe 29 more payments on a vehicle that no longer runs." That is not an isolated case. It is a pattern, and GM is not alone in it. Ford's 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 deployed across the F-150 lineup from 2021 through 2024 is generating failure reports at a rate that Consumer Reports flagged in its 2024 Auto Reliability Survey as significantly below average for powertrain reliability. The specific failure mode being reported is carbon buildup on intake valves, a known structural vulnerability of direct injection turbocharged engines, combined with intercooler condensation failures that introduce water into the combustion chamber. The resulting damage is classified by Ford dealerships as owner-induced in a substantial number of warranty claims, allowing the manufacturer to deny coverage under the powertrain warranty. A class action lawsuit filed in the Northern District of California, case number 324 CV04871, alleges that Ford was aware of the condensation failure risk prior to the 2021 model year launch and chose not to redesign the intercooler assembly because doing so would have delayed production by an estimated 4 to 6 months. That case is ongoing. Ford is not settled. And the F-150 with the 7-liter EcoBoost continues to be sold at dealerships across the country today with no change to the intercooler design cited in the lawsuit. What does this mean for you? If you own a 2021 through 2024 F-150 with the 7-liter engine, pull your NHTSA complaint records for your VIN right now. The link is nhtsa.gov. It takes less than 3 minutes. The information you find there may be the most valuable thing you read this week. And if you want more investigations like this, the kind that cost hundreds of hours of NHTSA database research and court record review, subscribe to Motor Crisis Watch right now. We publish a new investigation every single week, and this is the channel the dealerships do not want you to find. Now, here is where the 2026 crisis designation matters, because it is not just about the vehicles already on the road. The 1.4 million confirmed failure figure is significant not only because of its size, but because of its trajectory. Based on NHTSA complaint filing rates tracked quarter over quarter from 2023 through the first quarter of 2025, the rate of new complaints in these identified failure patterns is accelerating, not stabilizing. What the data shows is that many of the vehicles now entering their 3rd and 4th year of ownership, which represents the end of the standard 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty window, are hitting the failure threshold precisely as warranty coverage expires. That is not a coincidence to most of the mechanics and former dealership service advisors who reviewed this data. It is a pattern they recognize. The third engine configuration driving this crisis involves Toyota, and this is where the channel's audience needs to pay close attention, because Toyota's reliability reputation is genuinely at stake. The 4-liter turbocharged V6, designated internally as the 2GR FKS variant and deployed in the 2022 through 2024 Tundra and Sequoia, is generating warranty claims at a rate that J.D. Power's 2024 Vehicle Dependability Study classified as a notable regression from Toyota's historical baseline. The specific issue is timing chain tensioner wear occurring between 25,000 and 55,000 miles, significantly earlier than the engineering documentation for this engine family projects. Timing chain failure at highway speed is not a recoverable event. It typically results in total engine destruction. Repair quotes submitted to NHTSA complaint files by Tundra owners in 2024 and early 2025 ranged from $14,000 to $22,000 for complete engine replacement. For a vehicle that may have been purchased at a significant premium during the 2022 and 2023 inventory shortage period, when many buyers paid $10,000 to $15,000 over MSRP, this failure represents a financial catastrophe. You bought a $70,000 truck, you paid $85,000 for it in the market at the time, and now you are looking at an additional $18,000 repair bill on a vehicle you still owe 60 payments on. Toyota has issued a technical service bulletin, TSB number 0018-24, related to timing chain inspection procedures on the 4-liter V6. A technical service bulletin is not a recall. It does not require the dealer to proactively fix your vehicle. It does not entitle you to free repair. It tells the dealer what to look for when you bring it in with a problem. The distinction matters enormously, and it is a distinction that manufacturers depend on most owners never fully understanding. But that is not the worst part of this story. The worst part is what happened inside these companies when the failure data started coming in. Internal documents obtained by consumer advocacy organizations and cited in multiple ongoing class action proceedings describe a standard decision matrix that applies across GM, Ford, and in the Toyota TSB case, a cost-benefit calculation. The central question asked is not, is this safe? The central question asked is, does the projected liability from failures exceed the cost of a redesign or recall? When the answer is no, the standard response is to reclassify the failure as within operating parameters, issue a TSB rather than a recall, and defend individual warranty claims at the dealership level. The individual owner facing a $20,000 repair bill and a warranty denial letter written by a legal team typically does not have the resources to fight back. Most of them pay or they trade the vehicle in. And the cycle continues. According to class action filings tracked on ClassAction.org through April 2025, there are currently 11 active class action lawsuits in federal courts targeting engine failure patterns across GM, Ford, Toyota, Stellantis, and Hyundai. Hyundai's inclusion on that list relates to a continuation of the Theta 2 engine failure litigation, which began years ago but has generated new filings as 2021 through 2023 model year vehicles with revised but not fully corrected engine configurations enter the high mileage failure window. The original Theta 2 settlement, which covered millions of vehicles across Hyundai and Kia, was one of the largest automotive defect settlements in American history. The new filings suggest the problem was not fully resolved. Owners who believed they had protection under the extended warranty provisions of that original settlement are now discovering that their specific model year or configuration falls outside the coverage parameters. Hyundai's legal team has contested several of these claims at the district court level. If you drive a Hyundai or Kia vehicle built between 2021 and 2024, search the NHTSA recall database for your VIN before your next oil change, not after, before. Here is what this investigation can tell you with confidence about protecting yourself right now. First, the NHTSA VIN lookup tool at NHTSA.gov is free, takes 3 minutes, and shows you every open recall and every complaint filed on your specific vehicle. Use it today. Second, if your vehicle is exhibiting any oil consumption above 1 quart per 3,000 miles, document it in writing and submit a complaint to NHTSA directly. That complaint becomes part of the public record and strengthens the evidentiary base for any future class action you may be entitled to join. Third, if a dealer denies a warranty claim on an engine failure and cites owner behavior or operating conditions as the cause, request the denial in writing, including the specific clause of the warranty they are invoking. Do not accept a verbal denial. A written denial is a legal document that an attorney in a class action proceeding can use. A verbal denial disappears the moment you leave the service bay. Fourth, and this is the point that the 2026 crisis designation makes more urgent than it was even 12 months ago, if you are currently in the market for a used 2021 through 2024 model year truck or SUV, the vehicles entering that market right now are entering it for a reason. Many of them are being traded in or sold privately by owners who are aware of developing symptoms and are offloading the problem before the warranty expires or before the failure becomes catastrophic. A pre-purchase inspection by an independent mechanic, not a dealer-affiliated service center, is not optional on any vehicle in this mileage and model year range. It is the single most important $150 you will spend in that transaction. The 1.4 million confirmed failures at the center of this investigation represent real people who financed real vehicles at real interest rates, made real sacrifices to afford those payments, and are now sitting in service waiting rooms, being handed denial letters by service advisors who are following corporate policy. These are not edge cases. They are the predictable output of a system in which the cost of accountability is calculated against the cost of repair before any decision about your safety or your financial protection is made. This is the kind of investigation no dealership wants you to see. Subscribe to Motor Crisis Watch, because next week we are going inside the repo wave, hitting 2022 and 2023 trucks specifically, and the numbers coming out of the auction data are going to change how you think about the value of everything in your driveway. Share this video with anyone you know who drives a 2021 through 2024 Silverado, F-150, Tundra, or Equinox. Their engine could be next. And right now, they probably do not know it,